Good evening, YouTube. How are you this evening? Uh, it is a little after 9 o'clock on Monday, and I have moved out of my truck back into the lovely Maverick Hotel. I'm on the second floor this time. Uh, Back when I was here in orientation, I was on the first floor. I'm not sure whether I like the first floor or the second floor better. Uh, I do know that the internet in my room is not as good as it was in the room that I had before. But that's okay. I think I can get around it. It's not like I can watch Netflix or Hulu or anything, but I can watch YouTube when it's working properly. Um, Today was the first day that I was in the classroom teaching with students. Um, I got up at 5:30, took a shower, and showed up to work about 10 minutes to 6. Today was Monday, so there was no breakfast because today is medical for the new orientation students. I'm not necessarily working with them. Um, my interactions with the new orientation students and the new orientation experienced drivers is very limited at this point. I am pretty much regulated to teaching in the flatbed securement training bays. Found out more about what I'm going to be doing. I knew basically what I was going to be doing, but I found out more about the exact details of everything. This particular assignment, which is temporary at the moment, should last about 6 to maybe 8 weeks. And during that time, I'll be in this room. Unlike when I was here as an orientation candidate, I get the room all to myself. So this time I got the bed by the window, and I'm not really going to give a tour of it because it's a mess. So don't even ask. I was really surprised how much stuff I had stuffed into that truck. I'm always amazed at that. I had about 300 pounds of stuff in the truck, and that didn't include the microwave or the refrigerator. So right now it's scattered all over the place, and hopefully the cleaning lady tomorrow will ignore the mess and just not bother to clean up in here. I think I'm even going to leave her a note and say, don't bother until I have a chance to put everything away. Though it is nice to have the space. However, I did forget how cold it is in here. I remember that it was really cold during my orientation all the time. And I'm not sure why that is. But the blankets themselves are not sufficient. So I'm glad I have my big fleece blankets from the truck. I'm going to put them on the bed. And I'm just going to leave them on the bed, and hopefully she will just, on Fridays when she changes the sheets between classes, that's probably when I'll take my blankets off the bed so she can do that. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to tell her because I want to make a point of coming over here and talking to her to find out what her procedure is. But telling her just, don't worry about my room, except for on Fridays. But like I said, I found out more about my job. It's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. It may be longer. There isn't thought that it's going to be shorter, but it is going to be longer. Met with my boss. His name is Scotty, and he's pretty much the training coordinator here under the training director. And we talked about how he wants things to proceed. I'm really supposed to kind of just observe and learn the ropes of teaching here at Maverick over the next week or so, and help is needed until that time. And then within 2 weeks, I'll be doing stand-up presentations and the actual instruction, maybe a month at the outset, but I don't think it's going to last that long because today I was instructing in the bays. I wasn't just observing, I was going over it. But I need to learn everything I know how Maverick does these jobs, how it does the securement, but I need to learn how Maverick specifically wants these things taught directly. So I got corrected on a couple of things. And I know one was a habit that I picked up from other drivers out in the field. that I'm going to have to teach myself not to do. Not that critical of a thing. It's just something we don't teach the students, and it's something that I picked up out there. And after we talked about that, we went over to HR, and I met with the HR coordinator and did my paperwork for this job, because technically it's a completely separate position. It's just not like I'm being pulled off the fleet and they're going to give me money to teach. I had to actually sign an agreement based on how much money I'm going to be making, and that agreement is actually for a per year agreement. You know, and when this assignment's over, I'll have to sign a new agreement to go back to the trucking fleet. I had actually offered them, when we were going through the process, to me just to stay in my truck and live in my truck, because it was just a bed more than anything. So I'm going to be teaching as much as I'm going to be able to, 5 days a week, and I plan on driving home every weekend when I'm off, or most weekends. Just staying in my truck would have been a good option for me, but apparently they need the truck itself. Of course, if it's just sitting on the yard, then the truck's not making any money, and the trucks have to be moving to make money. So I did make a kind of a offhand comment. I said, okay, well, if I gotta move out of my truck into the hotel, when I go back, I'd really like to have a 17 for all this effort. I got kind of we'll have to see what we can do. I'll say that right now, that when I do go back on the road, if I do, I want a new truck. Just because. After being in the 13, I really liked that truck, even with its problems. It was a comfortable truck, but a brand new truck with all the bells and whistles would be even better. So after that was done, went back up to the training room to sit on the lectures, and I was taught how to do the management and teaching side of the computer training system, and how things work, and how to work the management side of the MCPs, because the students have to send test messages, so many, over the course of the training, to show they know how to use it, and a couple other things. And it was a good day. And then we went down to the training bays and spent most of the day down there. I'd say 9:15 in the morning, maybe 10 o'clock at the latest. I wasn't paying attention to the time. Through lunch, and then all afternoon, and then back up to the classroom. I had a really good time, and I learned stuff that I had forgotten, honestly, because we crammed so much into the training over those 7 days flatbed training, that some of it just leaks out of your head if you don't immediately use it. And I had completely forgotten how to secure containers, because I hadn't done any containers before. I mean, no loads ever come that way, so I'd completely forgotten how to do containers. And after playing with the container setup, then I remembered, and I was able to effectively help the people that were supposed to be learning it for the first time to do it. So all in all, the first day was really good. I had a good time. I seemed to be able to mesh real well, at least from my perspective, with two of the instructors that were here today. I already know I get along with just about everybody. I'm really kind of a stern guy, but I'm real lighthearted. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I can get along with just about anybody, unless they're, well, for lack of a better phrase, a complete bastard. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I have yet to meet anybody here at Maverick that way. Everybody's real good about being lighthearted and easy jabs, and fun camaraderie. It's really good. So after the day was done, I had my room assignment here, so I went to my truck and packed everything up inside of it, and then instead of lugging it completely across the parking lot, because I was parked way out there. I mean, way out there from the hotel. I'd say a good 150 yards. I pulled the truck around next to the hotel, next to the exit, and since my room is upstairs at the end of the hall, I was able to get all my stuff out of the truck and get it up in the room, with the exception of my refrigerator. I couldn't pick it up but that was because I didn't take everything out of it. But luckily for me, there's a couple of young, strong students downstairs, and I asked them to do it. And one guy, I guess he's a football player or something, definitely an athlete, manhandled that thing upstairs and put it right where I wanted it. And then they wanted to look at the truck, so I let them crawl around inside the truck for a while to see what it was like. After that was done, I took it down to the wash bays and washed the exterior and then cleaned the inside, so at least it'll be moderately decent for the next driver that comes along. I know that they will probably hand wash it, or at least power wash it, and clean the insides and detail it before they give it to another driver. But I don't like leaving a dirty truck. And actually, it's against company policy. If you move out of one truck, you're supposed to try to clean it as best as possible. So that's it. Now I'm in here, and I got stuff scattered all over the place. The only thing that's in any conditions, I got the microwave and the fridge plugged in, and my clothes hung up. So it's something for tomorrow to do. So that's it. This is just a general update, and I hope that things are going well for you, and I hope you have a good evening. And until the next time we talk, keep the shiny side up, 73s, and we'll talk again. Good night.